The way you carry yourself while you're in a situation that you may not want to be in speaks volumes to your character. Let's get into it. What up, y'all? I'm Christopher Markland, and welcome to my review of episode 7 of season 5, Ready to Love. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've done a review, but as always, what I do, or don't do, I should say, is I don't just tell you line for line, scene for scene about the show that you've already watched. Instead, I use situations and scenarios on the show to illustrate points about dating, relationships, marriage, all of that good stuff. So if you like how I'm doing it, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
There was an incident between Eric and I. I don't want to have contact with him at this point. I think that he needs to do some reflection and growth on his own, away from me.
Okay.
I no longer want to date him.
So a lot has happened since my last review, obviously. Now, the last time I even did one, Eric and Dakia, they were starting to develop something. They had a connection, they're, good conversation, that kind of thing. Now, even though Eric was one of the, how Tommy did it this season where he's bringing on new people, he wasn't part of the original members that were there. He was still, came on the scene and people were, a lot of the women were taking notice. Now, what I do like about this whole thing is that Dakia set her boundaries. She knew what she didn't want, what she wouldn't accept. And once Eric violated, he was basically out. That was it. You got to respect that.
Eric asked to take a picture with me, and so he comes up behind me and puts his arm around my waist. And I make a joke like, all right, we got this old school prom picture pose going on. And Eric is like, watch this. This ain't no high school prom picture pose. And he comes and gets very physical with me. I'm a lady, you don't touch me that way.
No matter how good things are going. I mean, think about it. Eric and Dakia, like I said, they had a good, positive start. They clicked. At their very first interaction, they damn near had that good connection, that good energy. But no matter how things are going, no matter how good they may be at the beginning, it's still a process. You're still dating that person. And if you don't know that person and their boundaries, you cannot cross them until you get a good idea. Like I said, you got to know their sense of humor. You have to know, as far as touching them, things like that. If you don't know, if you don't have an idea as to where the boundaries are, you got to tread lightly. Eric didn't, and like I said, he's out.
This week I want y'all to travel back down your heart's memory lane.
What you talking about?
It's time to grab your ex and introduce him to your next.
Ooh.
Ex to next.
If you watch any one of my reviews over any of the past seasons of Ready to Love, you'll know that I am not a fan of the Meet the Ex episodes. I'm a firm believer in that your past needs to stay in the past. It needs to stay there. You don't need to go back to it. I just don't believe in backtracking. When things are over, they're over. The only caveat to that may be this: reaching out to your ex and asking them, hey, how did I present during the relationship? If you're still on good terms with that ex, then, say, hey, when you and I were together, what were some of the things that you saw me doing? What do you think I could have done better? That kind of thing. Not in an effort to rekindle the relationship or to relight that spark or none of that nonsense, but just to see how your ex saw you. Because once, you have a little bit of time and distance, people can then see things that when they're in the moment, they may not necessarily have seen. That's about the only time I feel it's cool to reach out to the ex. If not, let your past stay in the past.
I'm nervous as hell. Clifton and I, we've talked about his triggers, things that have bothered him, and the past is definitely one of those.
My big three: communication, sex, finances. You have to communicate. It's number one. You have got to be able to communicate to your partner. And communication isn't just you running your mouth. It's also you listening, you hearing the things that your partner is telling you, that they're sharing with you, the vulnerabilities of them opening up and saying, hey, this is me, this is something I've done, this is how I feel about this, whatever the case may be. I like the fact that Clifton and Joy are communicating. Clifton is telling her about his triggers, one of those being his past, either the things that he's done, the things that he's created, all of those things. And then on top of that, Joy is listening. So it's not like it's a surprise to her as far as how Clifton feels about exes, because he's talked to her. It's not a surprise, to Joy how Clifton feels about his past or the things that he's done in the past because he has communicated them to her. Because of that, they're closer. So now there are no surprises when somebody else walks in the room. She knows how he feels, and there's no miscommunication or misunderstanding because he has told her. I like it.
Today, I am headed to Carmine's. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to spend some alone time with Joy.
Oh, Lord.
What in the hell?
Here comes my arch nemesis here.
What's up, people? I walk in and I see Joy, Laverne, and her ex. We have a problem, Houston.
Another thing that I'm not really crazy about with the show are those ambush style dates. I mean, think about it. Clifton, he thinks that he's going on a one-on-one date with Joy. Now, from what I've seen, they haven't been on a one-on-one date together. They've been on group dates. They've been on, group outings, like when they went to the mansion or whatever the hell it was. So they haven't been on a one-on-one date that I can recall since the very first episode at the meet and greet at the mansion or whatever. So therefore he's looking forward to that. Now he walks in and not only is Joy there with Laverne, but she's also there with her ex. So think about it. If he is looking forward to it just being them. Now he walks in, it's like, yo, who the hell why are these two dudes here? And then on top of that, when he walks in, they're sitting there talking about him specifically. So of course his annoyance level is going to be up because his guard is damn sure going to be up because it's like, damn, what the hell did I walk into? I'm not a fan of them ambush style dates at all. Let them know what they're about to get into.
I don't feel like doing this. He's not going to be able to tell me anything that I'm going to need as far as moving forward with Joy other than how he already failed.
I gotta say, that's how I feel about these meet the ex type situations. Think about it. The person that Joy was when she was in that relationship with old boy is different than the woman that she is now because it's been 2 years. Also, how she interacts and acts when she's with one person, be it Clifton, is not the same as how she's going to interact with Laverne. Now, in Clifton's case, he may get insight into how Joy moves and in certain situations. However, every man is going to move differently based on either the inspiration or the discouragement that woman provides him. So how Joy interacts and moves with Laverne, for instance, is going to make Laverne in turn move differently. Similarly, if you go with how Joy interacts with Clifton, how she pushes him, how she pulls him, how she moves with him in turn is going to make him move with her. So how each man moves with Joy, it's going to be different. So there's really and truly, there's only a certain amount of insight that you can gain from her ex, especially an ex of 2 years ago.
This is a bit awkward. So we're here. This is your ex, right? Mm-hmm. So let me understand how this relationship is. Does that mean you talk on holidays, talk every day? Somebody jump in here.
No, I respect what you're saying, and this is the thing. I can tell you I've known Joy pretty well, and jealousy is not gonna get you very far.
Not gonna lie, Clifton's question makes sense. Now, don't get me wrong, it was said in a smart-assy kind of way, but it's still a valid question nonetheless. What insight can he offer to Clifton or to Laverne if they have been apart for 2 years? He does not know the woman, he being Joy's ex, does not know the woman that Joy is now if they hadn't communicated in the last 2 years. So therefore, what can he add that Clifton himself is not going to learn about Joy as they move and grow together and in turn learn about each other? It's a good question.
Exes are exes for a reason. If you let them, they will still lurk and they'll still try and bring you back to where you used to be. Given my history with exes, and this could be really bad.
One of the reasons that I can feel where Clifton is coming from is because of my personal stance on the past. It needs to stay in the past. I do not believe in backtracking. I think that once something is over, you need to let it go. I always analogize it to you driving in your car. You're moving on the road, you're looking through the windshield, you see in front of you, you have this huge piece of glass that you can see everything that's coming, all the obstacles, everything, and you can plan your course accordingly. However, you have your rear view mirrors. If you spend your time looking in those rear view mirrors, beyond you got to glance at them just to see what's behind you, that kind of thing. But if you spend your time looking at what's behind you, sooner or later, you're going to find yourself in the ditch or you're going to swerve off into somebody else's lane. If you stay focused on your future instead of worried about what happened in the past, and you're going to be okay. But if you spend that time looking back and wondering and all of this other stuff, or even bringing your past in, you're going to have problems.
She felt like I did something that's disrespectful. We were at this event and we decided to take some pictures together. So I'm by her waist, and then I'm moving up, you know, to get a more of a intimate, cozy type picture. And she does say, nah, don't do that. So hands down.
There are three sides to every story. His side, her side, and in the middle somewhere is the truth. Now, it doesn't really matter what his intentions are or what he was trying to do or what he thought. It does not matter, because at the end of the day, she didn't like it and she felt that he overstepped his bounds and violated her boundaries. So therefore, it's a wrap. It's over. She doesn't want to have anything to do with him, and that's really all there is to it.
The way I moved hurt her, and I don't want to cause any pain to anybody. So I want to do a little bit more self-reflecting.
What does that mean?
At this particular point, I'm not ready to love anybody right now. I think I'm going to bow out and figure out when I'm really ready to love.
Again, I agree with Clifton on this. Your ex is your past, and your past should not have any sway on your present or your future. Your ex shouldn't be weighing in on your current relationship and all of that, because all it does is it muddies the water and it makes things confusing, and it sets the potential for nonsense. So therefore, if you allow that to come into your relationship, you're gonna have problems. Now, I do like the fact that Clifton isn't being a dick towards Joy's ex. Yeah, he's not warm and welcoming, like, hey, none of that. But he's asking tough questions, and I like the fact that Joy's ex, his personality is calm, it's relaxed. He's not giving any type of energy to make the situation any more difficult than it has to be. And I can kind of see why those two were together, because if you think about it, Joy is this energetic bundle of energy, whereas oh boy, he's more of a calm, balanced force. So it kind of gives them that balance. Clifton actually has the same kind of energy. The only difference between the two is that Clifton may be more physically larger in stature, but essentially their personalities seem to be the same.
I mean, everybody has a past. Everybody has history, right?
You got to do work to make sure you don't break
Absolutely,
it, right?
Absolutely.
I know black men are afraid of therapy.
No. So I went to therapy. I ruined my marriage based on past experiences.
Okay.
I still go, actually.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sounds like you've made some progress.
Absolutely.
As a man watching this exchange between Clifton and Joy's ex, I love it. Neither man is being an ass to each other, but they're also not pulling punches. Think about it. They don't know each other. Clifton doesn't know the ex, and the ex doesn't know Clifton. So especially Joy's ex, all he can do with his questions and trying to gather information is just base it on the person that he sees in front of him and take it from there. It's not like he can go back and start looking at certain things in order to really get to know who Clifton is. So he's asking these questions, he's making certain assessments, certain judgments based on the man that's sitting in front of him. Whereas Clifton, we already know, because at least we have a little bit of background on him. We know what his traumas are when it comes to the exes and his past and things like that. So therefore, each one of them is coming at it from their particular perspective and how they see things. I appreciate the fact, and Lord knows, hell, I got an therapy appointment set up later this week. Y'all know I am a huge advocate for therapy, not just when it comes to dating per se, but it does make you more dateable. It does make you better in any future relationships that you may get into, if you are able to deal with and work on the traumas from your past. I am a huge fan of it. In fact, what I'm going to do is if you look in the section on the video, I'm going to drop a link to Spirit. I go to her office for my therapy sessions. Don't go to her as my therapist per se. But what she does is every Friday on Facebook and Instagram, she does a live where she answers questions of the people in the audience, that are watching. So I'm going to drop a link to that. So if you want to tune in and watch her, y'all, I'm all about getting that therapy. I don't care if it's just a show on where you talk to a therapist or you actually go and schedule an appointment. Y'all get that work.
She called you after this, say, hey, LaShawn, this is going to be Laverne or Clifton. What you gonna say? you been judged by this.
Well, it don't matter what he say. He gonna say that to me.
Hey, I got a good cash out for you. You say, hey,
good cash.
That Vern is the dude.
I'm gonna tip you well.
At the end of the day, I can also tell you she's gonna do what she wants to do.
I'm not sure if that was Laverne just trying to cut the tension a little bit, trying to add a little levity to, what was going on between Clifton and Joy's ex, or if that was a true glimpse into his personality. I get it. He's competitive and he wants to win, and especially wants to win at the game of love. However, if you're going to just synthesize relationships and dating and all of that into a binary of yes, no, win, lose, then what you're actually doing is you're cheapening the process. It's a serious thing. And it's not a matter of, I win, I get the girl kind of thing. It's a matter of I am with the person that that I've been seeking, and then you're looking to do it. I hope that, what he was doing was just trying to add, just trying to just change the subject and lighten the mood a little bit.
Clifton seems like he's more your type. Vern says a lot of superficial things.
Yeah.
I learned more substantively from Clifton than I did from Vern. Clifton has issues that he's still trying to work through.
Yeah,
And he's honest about it.
Extremely.
A lot of black men won't acknowledge they've been in therapy and that they're working on themselves.
Sexy that is?
Yeah.
Shit. If I knew that, going to therapy was going to move me from the medium cute category to sexy, man, I'd have been going to therapy a long time ago. Now, I definitely think that Clifton, compared to Laverne, is a much better match, a lot more compatible, because Clifton is approaching this in a more intentional manner. And even though he has his faults, he has his issues, he's communicated those faults and those issues to Joy. So they're on the right path, and they're on the same path together.
Clifton is a better fit, but he comes with risk.
When have I ever played safe? Clifton isn't a risk. Clifton is one of those people that would stand on the edge with me, and we would jump together.
Y'all, relationships are risky. They don't come with a warranty that you can use if things get damaged. They don't come with an insurance policy that you can take out in order to mitigate risk and all of that. We live in a society where you can order a product, have it delivered, return that product, get a refund, and then go order something else, all from the comfort of your couch. Relationships don't come like that. They can be painful, they can be hurt, they can hurt you, they can damage you, they can do so many things, and all you can do is move forward in that relationship. If it doesn't work, you learn from it. If it does work, you keep building, and you build something that is a beautiful thing. But y'all, relationships are risky, and there's no way you can take the risk out of it.
My ex is Marcus. He's gonna meet Paul and Donovan. Thanks.
Besides the double distractions, I would have sworn, just looking at the scene, that they were a couple going out on a date together. I would never, would have thought that they were exes the way they were holding hands. Now, him holding her chair while she takes a seat, nothing wrong with that. That's just him being a gentleman. However, the intimacy, the closeness, the familiarity of them two holding hands together, walking hand in hand, that is just too much. And that's basically what Clifton was talking about when he was asking all those questions of Joy's ex. There needs to be a separation. There needs to be a divide. You cannot have your ex and y'all are that close and that comfortable and that familiar with each other.
You're looking good. Got that powerful necklace on.
It look okay?
Stop. Don't make me laugh.
It look all right?
They look gorgeous.
I'm not sure if y'all heard her say it's all for you. In fact, let me play that again.
You're looking good. Got that powerful.
I tried to give Carmen the benefit of the doubt when she first came on the scene, but the moment I saw her, I saw a woman that just wants attention. I mean, besides letting it all hang out, I mean, if you got it, flaunt it, cool. But the contacts and the necklace, all of that is giving me look at me energy. She wants the attention for the sake of the attention. If this man is supposed to be her ex and she's on this journey in order to find true love and ultimately marriage, how can you then tell your ex that all of this is for you? That right there is just nonsense. And it's one of those things where if you're just going to be seeking out attention, then you might as well just stay with the dude because it was all for him anyway. So it's one of those things where I just feel like she's one of those people that got on the show strictly for the attention and notoriety, the spotlight that comes with being on TV. But in reality, sooner or later, time and gravity does catch up with you.
Well, Marcus is not only my friend, he's my ex. Surprise!
Okay. Okay, I didn't see this coming. I'm okay with that.
I have another surprise. There is another gentleman that's gonna join us.
I dislike ambush style dates as much as I dislike these Meet the Ex shows. It's one of them things. It's like I just don't do it. You don't know how people are going to react when they roll up on a situation and see somebody there that they may not like. And now something pops off, and next thing you know, we got that reality show drama. I get it. That's what the producers are shooting for. They're hoping that something happens and all of a sudden it's a thing and now they're trending. Cool. I'm not a fan of it. I believe in saying, hey, if we're going to be going here, such and such is going to be there, and you give that person the pass to say, you know what, I'm good. I'll see you next time. That kind of thing. What do y'all think? I mean, like I said, I don't like it. I feel like when you ambush somebody, you never know what's going to happen, and things can go left real quick.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you a jealous man?
0.
0. Never had a jealous bone in your body?
Never. Of course not. What do I have to be jealous for? It's no other man that I feel inferior to at all. So I could be right next to Barack Obama, Jay-Z, and I could hold my own.
Jealousy doesn't have anything to do with inferiority to me. You can be 100% equal to another man and still be jealous that he's with the woman that you want, or he may have the car that you want to drive, or he may have the job or occupation that you may want. It's got nothing to do with him being better than you or you being lesser than him. It's got nothing to do with that. Now, you can be confident because Lord knows Laverne is confident because he loves him some him, but that doesn't mean that you can't be jealous. Jealousy and inferiority are not the same, and Laverne conflated the two in saying that, yeah, I'm not jealous because no man, I'm not inferior to another man. The two are not the same.
I don't need to meet my ex. I feel like when you throw the trash out, you don't go pick it up, right?
Oh, how you doing?
All I want to do is see my AC, eat some food, and talk to Vern.
And this is another reason why I'm not a fan of these ambush style dates. Basically, you know, well, ever since the men's lounge where Laverne gave that unsolicited advice to the other men and a whole lot of them took it wrong, hell, as I would have too, none of the dudes have basically taken a liking to Laverne at all. And I think that this is an offshoot of that, in that Tori is basically saying, man, this dude right here, I'm gonna talk that shit to him. You know, Tori seems to be one of those dudes that came from the ancient native tribe of I hopa. Meaning if Laverne says the right thing, I hope a motherfucker would, and something would pop off real quick. So that's a situation right there. And I mean, maybe I'm reading more into it, but just from what I'm seeing and just from dudes I know, how I move, etc., Tori's basically saying, yo, Laverne, let's see what he got to say, because if he does say something, it's gonna be on.
What are your intentions?
I want to be able to allow her to grow and allow her to be who she is, make her happy.
My intentions is to spend a little bit of time as my girlfriend, a little bit of time as my fiance, and then the rest of her life as my wife.
Wow.
Don't make me blush.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
When you're dating with intention, what Paul just gave right there was the blueprint to the perfect timeline. Meaning you meet somebody, you date them, you get engaged to that person, and you ultimately get married. Now, it does not take that long for a man to realize that he has met his wife. I'm not saying that a lot of people get it confused and think that a man gets married and then that woman becomes his wife. No. The right woman is his wife when he meets her, and they ultimately end up getting married. It's one of those things, if you've been with a man for an extended period of time and he hasn't married you, 9 times out of 10, it's not because he doesn't want to get married. He just doesn't want to marry you. Men, we know fairly quickly when we've met the quote unquote one, and it doesn't take a long time to figure it out as far as how we're going to do this. No, when a man knows, and he moves accordingly.
But there's one caveat to this, brother, and I think you probably need to understand it. She's always around celebrity athletes, good-looking men, women. You need to be able to emotionally handle it. You're going to be challenged if you don't have your together. You're going to have some issues, bro. You're going to have some late nights wondering.
This man is warning these two dudes that Carmen will cheat. It's not about them being confident or being comfortable about her being around handsome, good-looking men, celebrities, and all that nonsense. It's about how Carmen moves. She wants attention, she seeks attention, and she happens to be working in a field where there are men of certain stature that gives her the attention that she craves. If you go back and look at all of Carmen's interactions with the men, it's all about her seeking to be the center of attention to those men. She seeks out that attention. So it's not a matter of all of the confidence and all of that either Paul or what's his name? I can't remember his name, but anyway, it's not about the men, it's about her and how she moves.
If she wants that, I'm all for it. Because we still gonna get naked, we still gonna practice. I take my ginseng and everything, so hey, I'm ready.
Okay.
I mean, she get my blood flowing every time I see her. Sometimes I gotta make sure my pants is like, all
You
right.
better stop.
This is where I start eating.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. You know, Laverne's an interesting dude. You have to respect his confidence and the way he carries himself. He does seem to be that dude, and there are some times where not having a filter can be a good thing. There's a certain confidence that comes with you basically saying what's on your mind, even though there are some times you may need to, kind of tone all that back. I get it. He's that dude, and the cameras are rolling, so I guess.
When I knew Ace, she was the alpha. I met Ryan, he feels like an alpha. So I wanted to know how that would balance out. Are you the alpha?
I don't feel like a relationship is about dominating your woman. It's about respecting and reciprocating.
Facts.
Being an alpha doesn't mean you have to dominate somebody. Leadership, headship, having authority, especially within the context of a relationship, doesn't mean that you have to dominate the other person. Leadership means that you are the person that makes the decisions. You are the tip of the spear. Now, a good leader knows how to be led. So you go to the people that you respect, you get their counsel when it comes time to make a decision, you get their input, you get their feedback, especially if you're in a relationship with somebody, you go to that person, you have conversations, but then at the end of the day, if you are the leader, you make the decisions that ultimately are going to take your relationship, your family down a certain path. You don't have to be that beat your chest and I'm the man type bullshit. That's not being an alpha. That's just being an ass. Also, just because you are the loudest at the table doesn't make you an alpha. Think about it. The jester, while they're entertaining everybody, they may be loud and all that, but that doesn't make them a king. Also, if you have to ask the question, you already know the answer. What's already known doesn't have to be spoken.
If you wanted to lead the way, it would be him.
Okay.
If you wanted to be led, it'd be him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You better break it
Yeah.
down.
Did you lean more towards any side after this?
Ace is cool and all, but I mean, I love her energy, the hippie vibes that she gives off. But anyway, I do have to agree with her ex on his assessment of both Laverne and Tori. He's right in that Tori, I think, would confer with her and go through all of this other stuff. Whereas Laverne, he'll make a decision, and be it good or bad, he's gonna make that decision, and she's gonna follow. So it's either her falling in line or her falling out. But either way it goes, Laverne he's gonna run the show from everything that we've seen.
Although I like Paul, his personality seems a little soft.
Ooh.
He probably wouldn't be able to handle some of the challenges that you're gonna bring him. If I had to choose, I think that Donovan would probably fit that role for you.
Again, I agree with Carmen's ex that his assessment of the situation. However, it's not fair to either one of those men that they have to deal with the challenges that Carmen brings. It doesn't matter where she works if she doesn't know how to control herself in seeking the attention. Think about it. All of those men at one point or another say that they are looking for peace. How in the hell can you find peace with someone that is literally bringing challenges your way instead of going out of her way to avoid said challenges? It's not a fair thing for either one of those men to be involved with her.
No matter what y'all had, at the end of the day, who was yesterday don't mean equals today.
Tori's demeanor is surprising to me. He's like, I don't really have any questions. Come on, dude. Like, I understand you're not thrilled about meeting my ex-boyfriend. Obviously, I'm not thrilled about introducing you to him. It just seems like a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I can dig where Tori's coming from on this one. Yes, there are several questions he could ask in order to learn about, Sabrina. However, part of the allure of a new relationship is you learning that person and them learning you. It's a new journey that you two are charting together. I'm sure that, the ex could give all kinds of insight and this, that, about his relationship with Sabrina. However, that's not the same as, the experience that Sabrina will have with Demetrius and Tori. So I can get where Tori's coming from. Also, Mr. Touch Your Kidney Tori, he ain't trying to hear about how any other man measures up to, see what I did there?
If we're building, like if you say, who can I build with and survive the tumultuous waters, it would be Demetrius. But if you're asking me who is going to take you to the mountain sense, then I would say it's Donovan.
In terms of who do you think is gonna make me the most happy,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
my goal?
Yeah.
I think it'd be Donovan.
Oh yeah. And I don't think it's gonna be close.
Boy, so far these dudes have been on it with their assessments of the men that their ex are interested in. Right here, Sabrina's ex, he hit the nail on the head. The way he talked about comparing Donovan and Demetrius and how Donovan would be a better fit for Sabrina. Tori doesn't really fall into that equation because after that whole truth or dare situation, he's never been the same and never recovered when it comes to Sabrina. So yeah, Donovan definitely would be a better fit for Sabrina based on what I've seen.
I am going to meet Takia and her ex. Why? I don't necessarily want to meet people's exes, but I'm going.
Clifton.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Clifton, this is Terrence.
Good to meet you.
All right, good to meet you as well.
All right, yeah.
Yikes.
I get it. He doesn't want to meet the ex. However, if you agree to do this, then do it. Okay, if you don't want to shake the man's hand, that's fine. Then give him a fist bump, do something, but just don't walk in there and don't shake the man's hand or whatever. I mean, you got to have a little bit of class when it comes to stuff like that. And if you notice, every time he walks into the room when he first walks in, he walks in with a glass and he purposefully has it in his right hand. Therefore, it avoids him trying to shake hands. If you don't want to do it, then don't agree to do it. But if you say, yeah, I'll do it, then you gotta go through the process. You gotta go all the way.
Slice and dice.
When BJ mentions that Tina ghosted him, it did give me a kind of pause because I don't want to have that, that breakdown of communication and someone shutting down.
She would hold on to stuff, for weeks and lingering, and I was like, yo, I ain't heard from her. What the hell did I do? Yo?
I like that.
Communication is key. And again, communication isn't just about you talking, it's also about you listening. And you have to have healthy communication in any relationship if you want it to work. You have to be open to having the conversation, listening all the way through the conversation, giving your input as you have the conversation, but you have to have the conversations if you want the relationship to work. You cannot have a healthy relationship without open and honest communication.
I did get a chance to at least talk to somebody from her past, but the other part was never heard him tell me that she was ready for love.
How is your ex going to know if you are ready to love? If you and your ex are no longer together, no longer communicating, how in the hell is your ex going to know who you are right now at this present moment? They don't know the work that you're putting in, be it therapy, be it counseling, be it yoga, be it weight loss, whatever the case may be, whatever you are doing to emotionally grow and repair and heal from your past, your ex has no way of knowing that. Your ex only knows who you were in the period of time where y'all two were together. Once you've moved on, and if you have moved on and let your ex stay in the past, as you should, because you cannot grow in your present and your future if your past is all up in the mix. If you have moved on in your life, your ex has no way of knowing if you are or are not ready to love.
Be honest.
Paul, he's the outgoing type of person. I think will fit you better. Demetrius, very conservative.
Very.
To me, some things he got to work on.
There were things that, might be a red flag for me.
Another good assessment by an ex. Comparing the two between Paul and Demetrius, yeah, Paul probably would be a better fit for Tina than Demetrius is, because sometimes Demetrius can be a bit stiff. He's definitely the kind of guy that will sit back and quietly observe. Now, he's not shy. He will speak his mind, and you can actually see a lot of leadership traits in him. However, Paul is a little bit more gregarious when compared to Demetrius. I will say this, though. Every time I see Paul and Tina together, the age gap between them two is so striking. And it almost seems like Paul he comes across like her father almost. It's one of those things where there is just such a huge difference in them as I watch them when they talk and how they interact with each other.
It was good to meet you, bro. Take care. This date was not fun. The kid's ex, he probably is a cool guy, but you can be cool over there. And again, I'm gonna be cool over here. And then I'll never see you again, and you will never see me again, bro.
There are going to be some times when you're dating that you may have to meet the ex, especially if you and the person you're dating has a child together with the ex, or they may have something in common, like say property, like a home, or just something along those lines. You're going to have to meet them, and when you do, you suck it up. In Clifton's case, you man up and you be cordial. You be polite. You ain't got to be all buddy and all that nonsense if you're not inclined to do so. But at the very least, you are polite and you handle it as an adult. I like the fact that Clifton shook the man's hand after the date, quote unquote, after lunch, whatever the hell it was. I do appreciate the fact that he did that, because like I said, you have to be an adult, you got to be a man, and you also have to handle yourself with a certain level of class and dignity.
It's not easy. Nobody said it would be. I want you to take these men out, but let one of them know he's just not ready to love.
Okay.
So we have reached the end of the episode. Again, I'm not a big fan of these Meet the Exes type episodes. However, one thing I will say is that each one of the women that went on different dates with their exes and the men or that they're interested in, they all did seem to come away with a little bit of clarity as far as who would be the best option for them to pursue and to develop something with. So, with that being said, the women this week, they have control, which means that after deliberations with Tommy and, figuring out who they have the strongest connections with and those that they don't, they have all decided that the two men that are going to be going home this week are going to be Tori and Laverne.
Before this date, I got the wind that the ladies are coming after me. Sabrina, Carmen, and Christina had a plan to vote me out. Like, they want to break up Ace and I connection, and they're really gunning for me. My thought was very disrespectful, so I came in a little hot.
Hello, Miss Bree, how you doing?
Good to see
How you doing?
Oh, okay. What's up?
This is just absolute nonsense. This man actually said that he got wind of they were going to try and vote him off because of his connection with Ace. Why do they even give a damn about his connection with Ace to the point that 3 of the women are going to conspire against him and come up with this grand scheme to vote him off the show? It doesn't make sense. At the end of the day, if they want you gone, it's because there's no connection with you, not because there's this grand conspiracy that, oh my God, him and Ace are gonna, man, get the hell out of here. They just don't want you there.
I can't believe you want to act like this.
Act like what?
Like this. This is so ugly.
What's ugly
This
about
is
this?
ugly. Energy that you walked up them stairs with, couldn't give me a
Why would I
hug, and
hug
all of a
somebody
sudden,
who I know don't like me?
I don't dislike you. I have never talked bad about you.
Well, I heard a lot of other things, so I'm just saying.
Over the several seasons of this show, there have been quite a few eliminations where that person, when it's time for them to go, they just go out blazing. You go all the way back to Naya or Ron. When it was their time, they're like, hey, I'm throwing it out. Everybody can get it. Well, it looks like Laverne said, okay, I see you, Ron. I see you, Naya. Hold my beer. I'm going to show y'all how it's really done, because this dude walked up in there on some bullshit, quite honestly. It's like all of the stuff that he's saying, talking about they were conspiring to get him. I'm not going to lie, that's some catty shit, because it's like, yo, there's just not a connection. Bow out gracefully. Take the L, dip.
You all made this plan back last week.
No, Vern. To be honest with you, Laverne has been a non-factor in my journey. So for him to think that he's that important to where someone would want to actually plot against him, it's like, boo, you're not even worth it.
That is exactly it. It's like if he would stop and think about it, or, stop thinking about somebody other than himself and stop and think about what the hell does Tina's journey? What the hell does Sabrina's journey? What the hell does Carmen's journey have to do with him? If he had formed a solid connection with Dakia or Joy or any of the other ladies, he wouldn't be in this situation. So what he's saying is that, oh my God, these three women are so, they just don't want him there so badly because of his connection with Ace that they're going to conspire to get him off. It's absolute nonsense, and it just shows that, again, Laverne loves him some him.
If that's not the truth, just say that's not the truth.
I've said it's not the truth. I've said it's a lie.
Okay, I don't believe you, but there you go.
I'm genuinely hurt by the way you're acting right now, because I
I'm
thought
an actor.
we had more respect for each other than what you're demonstrating
I
right
do.
now. Like, I'm blown away right now by you.
There's something about a man taking his L with dignity. You're not gonna win it all. There are gonna be some times that, you know, you lose. And if Laverne, who's always said I'm so competitive, it really shows that my boy just doesn't know how to lose. I mean, anyway, at the end of the day, Laverne, his journey has come to an end and he has been eliminated. Next week, it looks like the fellas are going to be in control, and the premise of the show is where all of the ladies are going to meet that man's best friend. I couldn't really tell from the previews if any of those best friends are women, but you know, from what I saw, it seemed like all of the men on the show, all of their best friends are men. So I want to see how that one plays out. Now, tomorrow, I am going to be doing another CM show live broadcast. Tomorrow's topic is going to be background checks. In other words, if you're what we're going to be talking about is you're in a relationship, you're pursuing something with someone. How well do you know that person? What kind of background check did you do? I'm not saying you go holler at the FBI and get all their information. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is if you go and apply for a job, before they hire you, they look at your application, and they start looking to see, okay, based on everything that I'm seeing here, the background, the job, the resume, all of those things, they are a good candidate for this position. Do you do the same thing when it comes to your dating life? That's what we're going to be talking about on the next CM show. So again, if you haven't done so, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel. That way you'll get notification when I'm going live. And of course, how I do it, you can always join the conversation literally by jumping in on Zoom. If you don't want your video to be shown, just let me know, and that way we can listen to what you have to say without your face being shown. So be sure you tune in for that. Also, make sure you follow me on social media. I haven't had a chance to do it. I've been just swamped with a whole bunch of stuff going on. That's why I haven't been able to do these videos. But whenever I can catch the show live, I do live tweet. So follow me on Twitter at author_Chris M. You can also follow me on Facebook at author Christopher Markland. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Christopher_Markland. So make sure you follow me on those various social media platforms. Y'all let me know what you think about this episode. Do you think that, you know, Laverne being sent home, that he was the right guy, or do you think that maybe it should have been Tori's time to go? What do you think about meeting the exes? Have you ever met one of your significant other's exes? How did that go? Would you let the person that you're dating, would you have them meet your ex? Would you bring your ex into the picture? Let me know what y'all think about exes and all of that. So I look forward to seeing y'all next week. And as always, stay determined.